The Oukatel WP30 Pro, Ulefone Armor 34 Pro, Doogee S200, Doogee VMAX Pro, and Doogee S2000 Max are the most popular rugged phones of 2025. But which is the absolute best? We are going to compare them to each other and score them in various categories, with some categories holding more weight than others. In the end, we'll decide which is the best one based on the final score, and we will declare the absolute winner. Let's dive in. First, we are going to compare them on the durability and build quality category, which has a multiplier of 2. The Oukatel WP30 Pro feels quite manageable for a rugged device, being lighter than some of the brick-like competition, and it's fully certified with IP68, IP69K, and MIL-STD 810H ratings. Though at nearly 20 millimeters thick, you'll definitely feel its presence in your pocket. I rate it a 7.5 out of 10. Next up, the Ulefone Armor 34 Pro has an exceptional construction quality and carries all the essential rugged certifications like IP68, IP69K, and MIL-STD 810H. But its massive size and weight of 825 grams make it incredibly unwieldy and almost impossible to use with just one hand. I rate it a 6.5 out of 10. The Doogee S200 is built with premium-feeling aerospace-grade alloy and titanium, which feels great, but I found the protective bezel around the screen is a bit too thin, at only about a millimeter, as it failed to survive being slowly run over by a car tire in one test, leading to a fractured screen. I rate it a 7.0 out of 10. Then we have the Doogee VMAX Pro, which feels exceptionally rugged and is built to withstand harsh environments, making it ideal for tough job sites. But its sheer bulkiness makes it a real burden to carry around for daily use compared to more balanced options. I rate it an 8.0 out of 10. Finally, the Doogee S200 Max is an absolute tank, weighing a hefty 535 grams with reinforced edges and a bold, mecha-inspired design that feels engineered to survive anything, boasting full IP68, IP69K, and MIL-STD 810H military-grade protection that can handle drops and extreme conditions with ease. I rate it a 9.2 out of 10. The Doogee S200 Max takes the win with 9.2 points because it simply feels the most robust and over-engineered of the bunch, ready for the most extreme conditions you can throw at it. Next, we are going to compare them on the battery life category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The Oukatel WP30 Pro comes with an 11,000 mAh battery that gave me over 25 hours of continuous use in tests. And while its endurance isn't quite on par with the biggest batteries in this lineup, its insane 120-watt fast charging got me back to 50% charge in just 15 minutes, which is a huge practical advantage for anyone on the go. I give it an 8.2 out of 10. When I tested the Ulefone Armor 34 Pro, its absolutely colossal 25,500 mAh solid-state battery delivered simply staggering results, lasting for an incredible 76 hours in one of my demanding battery drain tests, and providing almost 60 hours of straight video playback, though the 66-watt charging does feel a bit slow when you're refilling a battery of this magnitude. I rate it a 9.5 out of 10. Coming in with a 10,100 mAh battery, the Doogee S200 is certainly no slouch, managing to last nearly a full 24 hours while continuously playing a YouTube video. But it couldn't quite keep up with the multi-day endurance offered by its bigger siblings in this comparison. It gets a 7.4 out of 10. The Doogee VMAX Pro is an absolute powerhouse with its 22,000 mAh battery, which in my testing lasted for an extraordinary 29 hours and 50 minutes while streaming a video at maximum screen brightness, proving it can easily handle several days of heavy use before you even have to think about finding a charger. I'm giving it a 9.1 out of 10. Finally, the Doogee S200 Max packs that same massive 22,000 mAh battery capacity, which promises up to 50 days of standby time and delivered around 30 hours of web browsing, and its 66-watt fast charging can take it from empty to full in about 2 hours, though its real-world screen-on time felt just a tiny bit shorter than its VMAX Pro sibling. This one gets an 8.8 out of 10. With its practically endless endurance and a massive score of 9.5, the Ulefone Armor 34 Pro is the clear winner here for anyone who needs a phone that simply refuses to die. Next, we are going to compare them on the camera performance category, which has a multiplier of 1.5. The Alcatel WP30 Pro impressed me with its versatile 108-megapixel main camera and a genuinely useful 20-megapixel night vision sensor that can even produce color images in the dark, but it is held back by the lack of an ultra-wide lens and videos that feel basic due to having no frame rate controls. I am giving this an 8.5 out of 10. While the Ulefone Armor 34 Pro has a powerful sounding camera setup on paper, including a 50-megapixel ultra-wide sensor, I found its actual output fails to impress because the images are not very sharp, the dynamic range is limited, and videos are hurt by an obvious lack of stabilization. This one gets a 6.8 out of 10. The Doogee S200 delivers what I would call standard performance, where its 100-megapixel camera produces decent shots with good color, though details can sometimes look fuzzy, and it tends to process images with extra grain. Plus, I found it annoying that it lacks an ultra-wide option and makes you switch to a separate mode to shoot in full resolution. For me, it is a 7.2 out of 10. I found the Doogee VMAX Pro to be a very strong contender that captures very clear video at 4K resolution and has an excellent night vision camera. However, all of that is let down by the complete absence of image stabilization, which makes any handheld video I shot quite shaky and difficult to watch. It earns a respectable 8.2 out of 10. Finally, the Doogee S200 Max feels like a phone where the camera was an afterthought, as I could not find much information about its performance other than it having an outdated 20-megapixel selfie camera, which suggests the priority was clearly its massive battery instead. This one scores a 6.0 out of 10. The Alcatel WP30 Pro takes the win here with 8.5 points, thanks to its versatile camera system that combines a high-resolution main sensor with truly impressive night vision capabilities. Next, we are going to compare them on the performance and speed category, which has a multiplier of 2x. The Alcatel WP30 Pro delivered some impressive results with its MediaTek Dimensity 8050 processor, feeling incredibly snappy in daily use, and even maxing out some of my graphics benchmarks, though I did notice it can get quite warm to the touch and throttle a bit when you really push it during intense gaming sessions. For that, I give it 8.2 out of 10. When I tested the Ulefone Armor 34 Pro, its MediaTek Dimensity 7300 chip and 16 gigabytes of RAM provided solid, reliable performance for most applications, but its graphics capabilities felt a step behind some of the others here, handling general tasks just fine, but not quite keeping up with the top dogs on pure gaming power. It earns a 7.5 out of 10. I found that the Doogee S200 was surprisingly capable for a rugged device, running smoothly for everyday tasks and handling games like Call of Duty Mobile without a problem. But it did show some occasional stutter and frame rate drops when things got really busy in more demanding titles like Need for Speed, which holds it back slightly. This one gets a 7.0 out of 10. Using the Doogee VMAX Pro felt like a huge leap forward, as this is easily one of the most potent rugged phones I've tested, with its powerful GPU delivering performance that was almost 45% faster than some competitors and provided an excellent fluid experience no matter what I threw at it. It scores a strong 9.0 out of 10. Finally, the Doogee S200 Max is just on another level, operating so seamlessly that I could jump between tons of open apps and browser tabs without even a hint of lag, feeling more like a flagship device than a rugged phone, and setting a new standard for what I expect in this category. I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10. The Doogee S200 Max takes the win with 9.5 points because it delivered a truly seamless and lag-free experience that felt like using a high-end flagship smartphone. Finally, we are going to compare them on the value for money category, which has a multiplier of 3. The Alcatel WP30 Pro is a powerhouse for its price, packing a high-performance Dimensity processor, a huge 512 gigabytes of storage, and an incredibly fast 120-watt charger that gets you to 50% battery in just 15 minutes. However, the small rear display feels more like a gimmick without proper notification support, and the phone does get noticeably warm when you push it hard. I rate it a 9.2 out of 10. Coming in with a truly massive 25,500 mAh battery and even a built-in projector, the Ulefone Armor 34 Pro is unlike anything else here, but it's just too heavy for me to carry around every day and takes a painfully long 5 hours to fully recharge. It's a 7.5 out of 10. The Doogee S200 has a really eye-catching futuristic design and a capable 100-megapixel AI camera for its mid-range price point, but I found it to be pretty chunky, and the speakers were somewhat tinny, which was a letdown when trying to watch videos without headphones. This one gets an 8.1 out of 10. Next up, the Doogee VMAX Pro also has a gigantic 22,000 mAh battery, which is great, but at 536 grams, it feels more like a power bank than a phone, and the 33-watt charging is just too slow for a battery this size, making it feel less practical than the much faster charging Alcatel. I'm giving it a 6.8 out of 10. Finally, the Doogee S200 Max delivers an amazing overall package, combining a massive 22,000 mAh battery that lasts for days, a super smooth 120Hz display, and a handy secondary screen on the back for checking the time and notifications, all for a fantastic price. Its only real downside is that it's a super chunky handset that definitely won't fit in all your pockets, but the trade-off is worth it for the sheer endurance. It's a 9.5 out of 10. For the best bang for your buck, the Doogee S200 Max takes the crown with 9.5 out of 10 points, thanks to its unmatched battery life and a feature-rich package at a highly competitive price point. The results of our comparison show each product shines in its own way, but the Doogee S200 Max stands out with its score of 88.1. This device is an extraordinary blend of durability, performance, and exceptional value for money. With its immense battery life, robust build quality, and smooth performance, it feels like using a flagship smartphone tailored for rugged use. The additional features, like the secondary screen and a 120Hz display, make it a fantastic all-around choice for those seeking both style and substance in a package that won't break the bank. Though the competition was fierce, each other device has its own strong selling points. The Alcatel WP30 Pro, with a score of 84.05, comes in as a formidable runner-up, excelling in value and speed, while the Doogee VMAX Pro offers remarkable durability and performance, earning it a solid score of 80.35. Meanwhile, the Ulefone Armor 34 Pro and Doogee S200, scoring 74.95 and 74.2 respectively, showcased unique features in battery life and design that could appeal to different users with specific needs. Each of these devices brings its unique flair to the rugged phone market, and no matter your pick, you're bound to get a device that excels in its niche.